is the voice of disruption.
Hi, it's Ken Rutkowski. Welcome to Voice of Disruption. This is Music Disrupted. Every week we bring you an incredible band that is literally disrupting themselves plus the industry. I'm always joined by Scott Page, who's hanging out with me right now. Scott, of course, himself is an artist that's always out there disrupting himself, but also an entrepreneur, which is really important. And Scott, I wanted to touch base real quick on the whole business side.
Okay,
When did
beautiful.
you realize you were a business dude?
Well, my dad, I came from a business family. My dad, we had candy businesses, boat businesses, donut businesses, lighting businesses, saxophone reed businesses.
Okay.
When I grew up, I was around an entrepreneur all the time. That's what we did.
What was your first business?
My first business was a company called Walt Tucker, which was an audio video post-production house and a merchandise business.
Now, most people may not know, besides being an incredible artist, you had a publicly traded company.
Yep.
Which
Seventh
is a
level.
rarity. You did the whole IPO.
What a
You
gig.
were right there on Wall Street.
Yep,
right?
yep.
Big investors. Michael Milken was
Mike
one of the
Milken,
investors.
yep,
So
absolutely.
you went through that whole route of being a business dude and then, of course, the artist side. Has it been hard to collaborate them and bring them together?
Yeah, I mean, actually, just the whole idea of bringing the two, because I got really into the tech side of it. And what happened was I saw the opportunity that somebody needed that entertainment technology were coming together. Thank you. And that there was really nobody in that space. So I saw that opening and I basically was that kind of liaison.
But was it easy or was it hard?
Oh, no, it wasn't very easy because, again, especially when you think in technology kind of businesses, they think in zeros and ones. It's on or off.
Right.
And creative people are, I want to put the thumb up, I want to try. And they do not mesh. It's a feel thing over here.
So it
and
sounds
here
like it's always a challenge.
It's always a challenge. Yeah, it's not easy having this much fun.
The reason why I bring this up is the artists that are going to join us right now, they
Yep.
come from the beautiful country of Switzerland.
Love Switzerland.
It's an amazing country.
Great chocolate.
But Switzerland also is very much of a binary country. And I'm not here to put it down, but I think our artists will totally agree. It's a brother and sister duo. You probably can figure out who the brother and the sister are. Stay is with us, Stay. And also Coco, who joined us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The band is called?
ZiBBZ.
Spell that.
ZiBBZ.
How'd you get that name?
Well, I've always known that I wanted to have my own band. And when I used to go on Saturdays, I used to go shopping with my mom, grocery shopping. I used to run off to the record store. And I was looking at the new records, I had 5 minutes till she would come and get me. And I was looking through them and I was like, when I have a band, I want it to start with a letter that it's more possible for my CD to be at the front. So I was like, Z, I have to start it
Either
with
to
Z.
start or the
Very smart. You know what you could do? We did that with Seventh Level.
That
We
was
wanted
the
a number
number.
because when you have a number in every book, you're at the
that's true.
very top.
That's
But
true.
let's talk about this idea of being a binary country, because when you think of Sweden or Switzerland, you think of bankers, money, chocolate. You think of job, 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 job.
Yeah.
You in your country, it doesn't really feel like a job to many of the population, does it?
No, and we still struggle with it. I mean, we've had a TV show there for 5 seasons. It was running for 3 years. We had, people know our music, they know our faces, but they still ask us, well, what do you do for a living? And it's just because the music industry is so small, the artist industry there is so small, and they keep it small because they just don't support it enough. I feel like it's still not a job in our country to be a dreamer, to be an artist.
Interesting.
You feel the same way,
Yeah,
right?
I think, that's
challenge.
just how we're brought up in a way, So.
Do you feel like, and I use the scenario that Superman had to leave Krypton to get his superpowers. Did you have to leave your country to find your superpower?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. I mean, you educated in London, so
Yeah, I
she
went
was gone all throughout our teenage years.
Yeah.
And
I left when I was 12. I went to London for a musical theatre college.
And what brought you to the United States?
Well, when I got back from London, I did a few musical tours, and then we started the band. And we always knew we wanted to go to a bigger playground, so it was either London, New York, or LA. And we spent, I think, a month in all those 3 places. Yeah. And then we just fell in love with LA.
Los Angeles.
the weather was pretty.
Yeah, that's
fine,
kind
too.
of
I mean, that
an indicator.
It's hard to beat
Helped.
that weather. that's for sure.
But Scott, as you look at artists that come here from another country, to the States specifically,
Right.
do you think they have a unique opportunity more than somebody that's here because, and I hate to use the word entitled, where they don't feel like they're entitled? They have to work even harder to get to that next level.
That's a really interesting question. I think it really has to do about talent and uniqueness of not being so unique that you don't fit in, but because that can be a problem too.
Yeah.
Because there's like, I know some great artists that are so unique, but they can't quite find that niche. Although today with niches are even more valuable than they ever were because we now can have access and find that. But I find that just in general, most artists that come to the States have a tough time, especially specific ones. I mean, especially if you're coming out of, the Middle East or
a little harder.
Japan or China, they have a hard time.
But look at these two.
But
They're
they
gorgeous,
don't,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, they look great.
Yeah.
They play fruit, which we'll see later on.
Oh, you haven't seen that fruit
They
yet.
play fruit.
Well, there
okay,
you
there's
go.
an angle, there's an in. Does the TV experience help you out when it comes to performing?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We did like these things on YouTube called One Take Mondays, where we every week put out a video every Monday with like just songs of ours being covered in a very special way, and
That's how we
that's how we
started the
came up
fruit.
with the fruit song.
The fruit's amazing.
And so we got a bunch of one takes online. And
So when you think of social media, do you think of Twitter, Instagram, or do you think more Vimeo, YouTube? What is social media to you?
All of them. I mean, it's interesting because it depends on the country. Like in Switzerland, it's definitely Instagram and Facebook. They're still huge on Facebook, right? While here, it's like not. Everyone has Facebook, but people don't really. They're not on there as much, I would say, as Instagram maybe and Twitter. Depends on the age too. So I feel like it's important for you as a band to know your audience and to know where they are and to know which countries you're targeting and and depending on the.
Where do you spend most of your time?
Facebook and Instagram.
yeah.
Data is what he said.
Data.
You might like one of those or all of them, but which one really works for you? And that's where the data comes from,
yeah.
right, Scott?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing that we have now that we've never had is the data. And once more, I believe every artist should really start to learn the basics of data science, because what you can figure out what your audience wants before you actually make it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a very interesting thing, right?
So looking at the data is one of
Yep.
the most crucial things for an
Big
artist
time.
to do, because that's where you put a lot of your emphasis on. The only problem is, let's say Instagram.
Okay.
Let's just use that. Engagement is a little more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're an Instagram, what do they call it? When you're automatically, you're authorized, you're validated.
Yeah.
You can't really do much of buying tickets. You can't sell merchandise. Where in Facebook you can. So you're limited on what platform you want to be on, and that's a problem, right?
Yeah, I mean, all the platforms are actually different. Different people hang out in different places, and there's different user behaviors on all the platforms, right?
Yeah.
I still am a major Twitter fan because of how it works. Because once you understand for targeting and finding people, you can basically, I call it the stalking network. You can go find somebody, get to know them, and kind of build them. And really, what people don't realize is the real value of Twitter is in the DMs, in the direct messages. That's where everything really starts to happen. I'm currently doing almost 100 direct video messages a day right now.
Same message or same video?
Oh, no, I talk to everybody,
You're a
every
busy
individual.
guy.
I get
I
up
know
in the
I can't
morning.
get a hold of you now.
It's like, but I've got a reason for that I'm doing that.
Me too.
So that's-
That's,
Look at me and be honest. Who's smarter between the two of you?
I would say her.
I don't know. I'm smarter
I might
at
be-
talking maybe, but Stey knows all the tech stuff. Like I don't know what I would do on stage without him, because we're just two people on stage and he plays drums, keys, guitar, bass.
Banana.
He triggers everything with the,
She does the banana.
he runs Ableton. We have a projector that we have on stage that he runs through his laptop too. So without him, I'm just a voice.
So let me ask this then, Scott. Do you think then, if you look at them like a business,
Yep.
parameters and responsibilities and roles are really important?
Well,
should they actually be listed down? Should they be concrete where each one knows what a role and responsibility is? Or should you just be kind of loose and let it happen?
Well, I mean, everything. Today especially, I mean, first of all, your audience is your business now. It's not just a marketing tool. That whoever owns the audience wins. If you have that audience, you win. If you want to get anywhere, the first thing people do is they ask you, what's your social feed? We just talked about that last week in Korea.
right.
Walks into a restaurant. They didn't say, hey, what's your name, sir? They said, what's your social? It's
crazy.
Right? So they check to say, oh, he's an influencer and stuff. So social is now really becoming a massive part of your business. Yes, I agree, because I think planning and parts of is really where artists a lot of times kind of fail. They're really good at making stuff, but then they don't know what to do afterwards. So really having a solid plan, knowing kind of roles, and people handling specific things.
Roles
is really
and responsibility,
important.
I think, are
Very important.
So who does the bookkeeping?
We both are really bad at that.
Yeah, we got someone. We got someone for that.
That's called outsourcing,
Our mom
right?
does.
Yeah,
Our mom
outsourcing.
Yeah, what are you bad at? And make sure you find someone to do that so you can
Exactly.
be really good at it, okay?
One of the
right.
things that I always think about, the first thing I ask an artist, are you a starter or are you a finisher? Because some people are like really good starters.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a monster
it.
starter,
He
right?
is.
Yeah.
But my
I'm
business
definitely a
partner
starter.
is the finisher.
Yeah.
Because
Closer.
he's the closer, he finishes, he manages it. So
Yeah.
when you're building your team, you got to really understand where you fit in the.
These are questions you have to ask. Last thing before we get out of here and we hear a song from you. You somewhat boycotted Spotify for a while.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I found it really tough to believe that that's really where music is going.
That we just have to like give it away and and I still love buying CDs and LPs, so I'm kind of an old soul too, and I love the 80s music and I love all those. I have a cassette tape player.
You're old school.
Yeah.
You're old school.
For my last birthday, he gave me a Walkman. So like I
Where do you
love
even
running.
find that?
I just love that stuff. So
But you got to work with the tools.
But see, remember,
You
here's the
gotta
deal:
work
is
with the tools.
Spotify and the playlist is the new record label. That's the new radio.
Radios.
That's
yeah,
it.
Get a
Radio
playlist.
station.
You're not on the playlist.
so
you're-
with our new
there you
record,
go.
we're all
New
around.
CD is out right now. Records out right now. People want to find you. Where do they go?
Yeah, everywhere. It's called It
Zibbs.
Takes a Village. We're called ZiBBZ, ZiBBZ official. So if you just go
That's where it is.
anywhere, that's
Google
where we are.
that.
Guys, we'd love to hear a song from you. So let's
Yeah.
do that. Let's jam out. Let's play some fruit. Stan Coco,
Ready?
Scott Page, Ken Rutkowski. You're part of Music Disrupted right here in Voice of Disruption. When we come back, we got a great song for you. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, this is ZiBBZ and our song's called Undone. Out of air, but I'm not running. Getting by, but not becoming. Full of words, but I can say them out loud. Loud! Mama, I need a reason to feel my heart and keep it beating. Paralyzed by all the spinning and I can't get it done. You got me lonely and lost in a room full of people. Slick talking, deceiving, yeah. It's time to get the hell up out of my face. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Coming undone, coming undone. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Coming undone, coming undone. In my head, the grass is greener. And people live up to the things they say, but spitting truth ain't how we're raised. No, lonely life, expectation, paradise, a messed up nation. Though we try, we keep on spreading those lies. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Coming undone, coming undone. Coming undone. From the love I was on. Is that what you wanted? Coming undone, coming undone. We are ZiBBZ, and this is City Lights. Can I have what you're drinking? Tell me everything you're thinking. You might have what I'm missing. Maybe love, maybe luck, maybe I'm just tripping on all the rum and all the flicker, flicker, flicker fools. Yeah, they promise it gets better, better, better. Washed up city lights, howling at the moonlight. Take me to new heights. Who are you? Who am I? Washed up city lights, intoxicated moonshine, out of mind. Give me new life. Oh, oh. Who are you? Who am I? Don't take me to your place, get me lost, yeah, this is your chance. I got a weird kind of feeling. Give it all, give me your kind of healing. Oh, oh, oh. All the rum and all the flicker, 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 fools. Yeah, they promise it gets better, better, better. Washed up city lights, howling at the moonlight. Take me to new heights. Who are you? Who am I? Washed up city lights, intoxicated moonshine, out of mind. Give me new life. Oh, oh. Who are you? Who am I? Let me take you to the city limit. Let me show you that I really mean it. Let me take you to the city limit. Let me show you my light. Let me take you to the city limit. Let me show you that I really mean it. Let me take you to the city limit. Let me show you my washed up city lights, howling at the moonlight. Take me to new heights. Who are you? Who am I? Washed up city lights, intoxicated moonshine, out of mind. Give me new life. Oh, oh. Who are you? Who am I? Who are you? Who am I? Who are you? Who am I?
It's Ken Rutkowski, and this is the Voice of Disruption.